first time you have your very own classroom is just the best feeling ever. You've loads of ideas and maybe even started a Pinterest board of classroom displays and layouts. You might be waking up in the middle of the night thinking about that amazing book corner you saw in a school you taught in a few months ago. But some of you may be feeling the fear and really not know where to start with this blank canvas. Well, the plan is to help you out with that in this video. Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from MyProgression, and this video is about setting up your classroom to ensure you have a great environment ready for the next term. This isn't just for those of you who are starting out, but for seasoned educators. It's always good to reflect on your practice and pick up some new ideas. As you look around a school, you'll get a feel for what the standard is as far as classroom setup and environments are concerned. You want to make sure that you're not only meeting this standard, but exceeding it. This is your opportunity to level up and show the school the quality of your practice. You'll want your classroom environment to be conducive to learning, and this will involve classroom displays, seating arrangements, as well as you, the educator, and your own teaching style. According to Dr. Susan Ambrose, a professor of education, your classroom environment is a blend of the social, emotional, and instructional elements of your class. Research shows that many aspects of your classroom environment can affect student motivation, and that students who are more motivated put more effort into learning activities. Classroom setup is so much more than what the classroom looks like. This is a great opportunity to not only re-engage the students after a holiday, but also get yourself excited about the new term. We'll start with display boards. Display boards line the corridors of most schools, as well as fill walls in classrooms, and can have a number of purposes within school life. Before you jump in with your amazing ideas, check the school policies. Most schools will have a classroom organisation and display policy, so check it out first. Some schools are very specific about the colour of backing paper used, use of staples, drawing pins or blue tack, what the displays are for, so do they display work or are they learning walls with prompts for the children? What is required in your classroom, such as literacy, maths, science, classroom rules, reward boards. And as I mentioned in our video on GDPR, don't use your students' full names on a display board. It will also be really helpful to know if you have boards outside the classroom to fill too. Does work displayed have to be backed or even double backed? Do you do the displays, or do you have support from a teaching assistant to help you? It can be a minefield, so tread with caution and check what's permissible before reaching for that fluorescent orange backing paper at the back of the resource cupboard. Learn from the experts. Listen to the people around you with more experience and accept any help when offered. If you're not sure where to start, take the opportunity to learn from the experts. A classroom assistant or teaching assistant will be proficient and an expert in this area, so just ask for help. Whilst many TAs are given the responsibility of board backing in a school, not all have the luxury of this amazing resource. It's a skill well worth having, and then you don't have to rely on other people, and you have another string to your bow. Your TA will be an expert at displays. Ask them to teach you. Learn from the experience of a TA, as it will stand you in good stead for years to come. Have your own resources, such as a sharp pair of scissors, staple remover, labelled with your name, as they will go walkabout. Back your board and then plan your board out. Sketch it out. Visualise how you want it to look. Don't just start sticking things to your wall, because if you make a mistake, you're going to have to start from scratch. Get everything together, titles, children's work, labels, and have it all ready to put up in one go. Do things well. Right, time for a key tip. If possible, laminate your titles, and then they will keep for years to come. You know you're going to teach poetry again next year, so that laminated title can be filed away and kept for another class. Future you will thank you. Now let's talk about your classroom layout. What would be the main criteria for your class setup? Is it looking nice, easily accessible for you to walk around, reading area? Your teaching and the children's learning is the priority. Your classroom may be beautiful, but let's remember that the children are at the heart of that classroom, and their learning is what matters most of all. The environment has to be conducive to learning, and children spend a great amount of time being taught, so they need to be comfortable. Some schools promote desks in rows or desks in pairs, a horseshoe arrangement, or a cluster of tables. Again, check if there's an expected setup. Now, you may be limited due to your setting. In secondary, you may have large classes where the only way to ensure you can fit all of the students in the class is in lines. If you do have free rein, you can make the decision and even explore which arrangement works for you and your class. However, have a few thoughts in mind when you do plan your seating arrangement. See the description below for our seating arrangement guide for more ideas. And whilst you're there, like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep seeing more from MyProgression. So plan your seating with care and ask yourself, will the children be comfortable? Has anyone got their back to you? If you have a situation where children do have their backs to you, insist that they turn their chairs to face you when you're teaching. They'll soon learn to do this each time. It's worth doing for the children's health and safety and shows respect and care for them. Insist on this to avoid complaints as well as injuries, which would impact on learning. Can everyone see the board clearly? And can each child read from the board and see it with ease? What size font will you need to use so that children in the back row and corner seat furthest away from the board can see without straining their eyes? Go and sit in each seat and assess the situation. Put yourself in the children's shoes, put the board on and assess if you can see it clearly. Now make sure your design is inclusive. If you have children who have impaired sight or hearing, make sure they have the closest seat to you in the board. If you have a child with limited physical mobility, then make sure they have enough space to move around. From your desk, can you see everyone? If you do work from a desk to access your computer, make sure your back isn't to the children. I mean, no one wants to see the back of you, but more importantly, you want your eyes on all of your students. Are there distractions? Are some children distracted by the path going around the side of the school and so spend their time watching who's going by? Can you avoid this by closing blinds or changing the seating layout? Make adjustments as you need to have the focus on you and in the classroom, not on the shiny new Audi which is in the car park. You'll possibly find that you may change your classroom layout a couple of times a year to find what suits you and your students. You will definitely move children around as James is constantly chatting to Liam and Ruben is copying from Priya, so you have to adjust and make decisions. Remember, it's your classroom and you manage it to provide the best learning environment that you can. Where's your teaching assistant sitting? Think about where you should place your second pair of eyes to have the most impact. Interactive whiteboards are now part of everyday teaching. So as you prepare your classroom, take time to know the technology used in school. You may not have used it before, so it's worth exploring and becoming familiar with, rather than trying to bumble your way around a new program in front of a new class. Your classroom may look nice and be well organised, but remember the purpose of your classroom is to teach and for effective learning to take place. So make sure you spend time getting to grips with your school systems. First thing to do, test your login details. We all know that first login to a new system can be a right pain. There are the obvious Microsoft presentations, Smartboard, Promethean, Active Inspire, Google Classroom. Make sure you can navigate around the used presentation, know how to edit and teach with it. Know how to print and where to collect your printing from. How's the register done? Make sure you know how to log on and familiarise yourself with the codes. Beyond your classroom, what other tech do you have available? E-readers or tablets? Make sure you make the most of these where possible to complement your lessons. Any issues? Find the IT technician and make a friend of them. Chances are you'll need them. You'll want to have a well-resourced classroom. But do you have to break the bank to do this? Look, as someone who loves stationery and would class Paper Chase as one of my favourite shops, you need to stick to a budget before going wild in the aisles. So find out, what do you need? And what can your school provide? Before hitting the shops and spending your paycheck, ask what's available and start with a visit to the resource cupboard. Check what the school have and provide, and don't spend too much of your own money. Ask other staff what works and find out if the students have their own pencil cases with equipment from home, or is it provided. Primary to secondary can differ in many ways, with the primary setting providing essential pencils, rubbers or rulers. However, secondary will often have the expectation that it's the responsibility of the pupil to come equipped to learn. Now, it is always worth having a stock of equipment to loan out to those people who aren't prepared. Don't let a simple lack of equipment stop a child from learning and accessing your lesson fully, although I do appreciate how frustrating it can be. You may want your own equipment, but get your name on it. Your classroom environment will reflect you as a person and a teacher. Is it organised and tidy? Is there a sense of pride in your learning environment? And does it embrace, support and celebrate the children you teach? Take the opportunity to walk into your classroom with fresh eyes. Does it meet the requirement of Ofsted and your own high standards? It's so important to get your classroom environment right from the start. It's always worth checking what Ofsted or Estin say about the classroom environment, and in the 2021 inspection handbook, Ofsted outlined no specifics about what displays should look like in a classroom. But as I mentioned earlier, this may be dictated by the school. They do, however, make a note about the environment pupils learn in, which displays influence. Ofsted wants to see a calm and orderly, positive classroom environment that's centred entirely around the needs of the pupils in the class, as this is essential for pupils to be able to learn. The environment where pupils learn should support the intent of an ambitious, coherently planned and sequenced curriculum, and provide resources that were selected to meet the needs of all pupils in the classroom and promote learning. So hopefully now you're ready to go and open the doors to the students. Once the children return to school and mess up your beautiful learning environment, you will adjust and make changes constantly. We would love to know some of your top tips for classroom organisation, so please drop a comment below. Let us know how you're getting on and send us some photos of your classroom. I've been Natalie from MyProgression, and if you found this video on setting up your classroom helpful, then check out the rest of our channel for more on working in education. And let's keep your career in motion.